everyone, welcome to the Maitri Podcast between friends, conversations with Maitri. And this is your host Nandini Ray. Today, I'm so honored to be joined by Menaka Iyengar Cooke, a domestic violence survivor, fierce advocate for women's rights, and recipient of the Medal of the Order of Australia. Menaka became a single parent shortly after arriving in Australia. She worked during the day, went to night school to educate herself, and eventually she climbed up to her career ladder and retired as an HR director after more than 35 years in the corporate world. Menaka has been a powerful voice for social justice, especially around domestic violence, women's rights, elder abuse, and issues affecting culturally and linguistically diverse communities. Her journey from surviving abuse to being nationally honored is a true testament to resilience and the power of advocacy. Let's listen to Menaka's powerful story today. Menaka, thank you so much for coming to our show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Menaka, honestly, I'm not even sure where to begin because you have come such a long way and achieved so much after everything life has thrown your way. Maybe the best place to start is that turning point. Can you take us back to the moment when you decided to break the silence and take that first step towards safety and healing? What gave you that strength to do that?
Okay, I will step back a couple of sentences just to show you my background.
Mm-hmm.
So, my parents believed in the value of education. In fact, my grandparents did too.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I was brought up in the cultural practices in India. I was born in Kanpur on, northern India.
Mm-hmm.
And I learned sort of fairly early, ingrained in me, that you need to obey the husband who's the leader of the family.
Mm-hmm.
So I could argue with him if I needed to. So
Mm-hmm.
it meant I was a compliant and obedient person. Now, here comes the little glitch. I decided on a love marriage. You all know what that means, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
I thought I was in love with this man and he was in love with me and everything would be fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't know that his love meant he wanted to control me and make me stay within the bounds of a loving and dutiful wife. And I think there were also some jealousies on his part because of our societal differences. Well, let that go. 5 years later, I had a baby, and then he decided we were going to come to Australia.
Mm-hmm.
With a 6-month-old baby, you can imagine my condition. I had postpartum depression.
Mm-hmm.
I was lonely because there was nobody here, and I'm talking about 52 years ago. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody family or friends that I could go to, and the transition to a new country. There was no support except the few religious practices that I continued, but they became less meaningful because of the pain I was suffering. Over a period of 3 or 4 years, that pain continued, physical and mental pain and emotional pain. And when I did go to a couple of the elder religious priests, what can I do? They just told me, go back and be with your husband and obey him. Which was not what I needed, because I was fast going down the drain. So soon after, I began getting really bad abuse, like being choked to death, being thrown off a motorbike, and I realized I had to do something. Then I heard I was suffering glandular fever, and I heard my husband standing above my bed and saying to me he was going to get me locked up in a psychiatric ward, and he was going to take my daughter away and go to another country.
Oh,
Can you imagine how bad it would be for you as a mother or
yeah.
father? I got up out of my sick bed. I went to a government agency. I went to someone, to the church elders. They just told me, go back, go back. You'll be all right. But it was two women I met in this church, three women, in fact, who said they would help me. And it was these ordinary women who said, one said, I'll give you a place to live in my house, one room and a bathroom. Another one said, I will look after your daughter. And
Mm.
that is the way I was able to get out with $10 and two suitcases and make myself start a new life.
Oh my God. You know what? Your story reminds me that many people in our community, they think that domestic violence can happen in only in arranged marriage. So whereas love marriage, there is no domestic violence. But we keep telling them that it can happen in any relationship. So your story will tell them that it can happen even in love marriage.
Yeah,
And your story tells us each community member has a huge role to play in supporting survivors and ending domestic violence, like three women you talked about.
yeah,
So whether they are faith leaders, their neighbors, colleagues, friends, family, so they have a
duty.
role. Yeah.
Two of them were actually the mothers of kids who played with my daughter in her preschool, kindergarten. So
Mm,
are there anywhere to help you.
yeah. So, thank you so much for sharing your story. I know it takes so much courage to relive those painful trauma and painful moments, but your story will give courage to many. So, that's why we are talking about this. We are doing this episode. So, tell us more about your journey, if you don't mind, journey of recovery. What helped you, and what kind of obstacles did you face? Anything you want to share?
Okay. Well, as you know, when you leave home or you're leaving violence, you cry. And I cried for a very long time.
Mm,
But I got myself a job. Even though I had a degree from India in English literature and political science, nobody cared in Australia. So I got a job as a clerk with a
mm,
company. I was happy because I was getting a regular income. I could feed my daughter. That was really good. Then slowly I built up some household goods. Somebody gave me a chair, somebody gave me a table, somebody gave me a bed. So all that was really wonderful that people were helping me. And they were ordinary people, mostly women. And is the beautiful part. Okay.
mm.
And I did not know anything about the systems, what social security will give you, what social services will do for you. So I was just wandering in the dark. All I thought was keep your job and stay quiet and do everything that you need to do.
Mm,
And my parents knew what I was going through and they were very supportive. But they lived in India and phone calls cost $2 a minute. I didn't have
mm,
that sort of money. Okay. It's a lot
mm,
of money even now. If you said I want a 20-minute phone call with my mother or father and going to cost you $40, you will
mm,
just do for 2 minutes.
mm,
Okay, so I said, all right, I will assimilate into the community. That was a real decision. Integrate
mm,
into the community to make friends.
mm,
And that was good. After 2 years, I had settled down a bit. I thought, what am I doing just as I can do anything that these guys whom I work for can tell me to do? So I started going to night school. The University of Western Sydney accepted me into their postgraduate diploma in human resources on condition that I could pass all the subjects. And I was the only female in the class of 21. And
mm,
I started doing, and in the first term, I had high distinctions in every subject. So then I was fully in. What I learned from those men in my class was also important. The value of networking. And after the few moments of just teasing you and saying things to you, they became very helpful. They would say, oh, you should do it like this, or you should do it like that, or come and study with me, or come to my house. Became such a good thing. But
mm,
networking was a wonderful way and learning to speak my truth because the company I worked in had 1,500 staff. And one day I sat next to the managing director or the CEO of the company. And I started
mm,
to say babble, but oh, Mr. So and so, I'm learning human resources. And one day I hope to work in this field.
mm,
That man remembered. 9, 10 months later, he called me into his office and he said, well, I can put you onto the team that is going to do organization development and upgrade the human resources function we have. I
Oh,
couldn't believe it.
wonderful.
That this,
Wonderful.
but it was, you had to open your mouth and say, this is what I'm interested in. And it was a white man who said, I will help you. Okay, you go and do this.
Yeah.
So that was my way to go into human resources. And then I went into disability services and social services and volunteering in domestic violence. So that's my story.
Hmm. So actually, this is all about community support.
Correct.
So your story is truly powerful and inspiring, but sadly, we know there are still many South Asian women who remain silent, not because they don't want to speak up, but because they feel like they can't. And in our community, in patriarchal society, we all know how much of the burden falls on women to protect family reputation, to put everyone else's needs first, and to put
First.
their own safety and well-being last. So from your experience, what are some of the challenges that make it so difficult for South Asian women to break their silence against domestic violence? Even when they're in a country like America, Australia, where there are resources, they can get support, but still we are seeing so much stigma and they don't even talk. What do you think? Why is this is the case, and how can we begin to shift these harmful narratives within our communities?
You, all you have said is totally right. We think of it as a stigma and a shame that we have some domestic violence in the family. But you are not, I want to say to such women, you are not the one bringing the shame. The shame
Yes.
has come because the man has beaten you up or,
Mm.
taken your dowry and tried to throw you out. It is not your shame. You are a powerful person. So I want to say to many of these women that you need to start growing in your own power. You are a very powerful person. Think of all the goddesses in our society. Kali and
Mm.
Lakshmi and Saraswati. You know, Kali didn't just stand there and say, oh, you can kill me. She took the sword and she went for it. Okay. That's what I want to say to them. Be assertive. I'm not asking you to kill someone, but talk. This is something I learned. I language, the power of I language. I am not happy with what you are doing. I don't want you to do it anymore. Instead of, you are an idiot, you should get a slap on the head. No, I don't like this. I didn't ask for you to hit me. So the whole morality in our society is goes against the intellectual or academic beliefs we are brought up in. I don't know why emotionally we just go, oh, Papa, Mama, Chacha will say bad things if I leave my family. I know many
Mm.
people who say that rather than saying, this is not fair, this is not just, this is not human. So I think this is my personal belief. There are some double standards happening in our South Asian society. Sometimes we are talking about, oh, we are so powerful and we are so resourceful, but we are telling our women that you have to be very pliant and skilled in household things and perhaps bring money into the family. I'm always wondering, and I know this may make you laugh, but I do wonder about it. So when we are born from our mothers, does God switch on some switch and say to the guy, oh, you can be as powerful and crazy and, assertive as you like, and the woman, now you just sit down and pat you on the head? No, it is society that does it to us. Okay.
Mm.
And I want to say to women, you have the same power, the same love of justice and equality as your husband has when you're in this situation. Don't be just, if you want to keep peace in the family because I want to go to this restaurant here and he wants to go to that restaurant there, that's fine. But if he is asking you to get another $10,000 from your parents, you have to say, what's going on? What is it? Go out to work, I will go out to work, and we will do it. So menfolk tend to lead us. And it's one of the things I'm told so many of the mothers of menfolk actually, give them more courage. They push and poke them to be more, not just powerful, but actually more violent or take some
Be
more.
Yeah, abusive.
be more abusive. I just
Mm,
cannot understand that because that same woman has been through her own journey.
mm,
Don't you remember? And that's for me, I'll come to it later. My own journey has been if somebody's abused me, I'm not going to go and abuse somebody else, but I'm going to find the woman who has been abused and say, what can I do to help you?
mm. Yeah.
Because that builds up in us. Oh, I went through all this. No, I'm going to prevent at least one more woman from going through this.
Mm,
I think that's the guts and courage. That's the goal we need to have. I
yeah.
must prevent it for at least another woman.
Yeah.
Every one of us, if takes that, wow, then we will be very good. So men have just misunderstood power as being able to control the family, whereas power can be how to be creative, how to inspire people, how to motivate people, how to be gentle and bring everyone together in love and peace. So I don't know.
Mm,
I think we need to teach our children more than we teach them. Be academic, get 100% marks in maths and science, but we never teach them emotional intelligence. Why not?
mm.
Why not, Nandini? Tell me. I just feel we need to teach our boys to be respectful to mothers and sisters and aunties and nieces and every woman you see. Treat them with equality and respect. Sorry.
Yes, yes, of course. And I like what you said that we need to teach our boys about gender equality. We need to teach them how to be kind and respectful to everyone. At Maitri, we truly believe that preventing domestic violence and creating a lasting change isn't just the responsibility of survivors and advocates, right? Or women. It's something that requires all of us, men, women. Everyone has a role to play in shifting the culture that enables violence, domestic violence. But in so many of these conversations, we notice that men are often missing. The reality is, while only a handful of men are abusers and many others, there are good men, but they
There are.
remain silent. They don't say anything, and could be that some feel unsure that of what to say, and some may think that it is women's issue and not theirs to address. So we need to have a lot of conversation, lot of awareness campaigns to engage men. And what you said, I agree with you. So how do we change that? What is your opinion? Like, what can we do to make sure more men feel informed, engaged, and accountable? Like, and specifically in South Asian, in our communities, what role men can play, in challenging harmful patriarchal norms and supporting change?
I think the change starts with each one of us. Okay?
Mm,
From the youngest age, I believe as a society, we need to start shifting these so-called norms. Because
mm,
what was okay in the days of Genghis Khan or, when the Mughals invaded India is not okay anymore. Okay?
yeah.
Today, we live in equality. So more and more of the women in India, USA, Australia, England are getting educated.
Mm,
They are not waiting just to sit at home and cook your roti chapatis and sabji. Okay? They're not.
mm,
They are wanting to contribute to a house. So, how do you want the best out of the women? Men too have to step into their role of not
mm,
just being protectors, but what I call lovers of their family, teachers in
mm,
their family, showing love and respect and kindness to their own children and wives and mothers and
mm,
sisters. Okay? Because
mm,
that's the only way change will start. And I just want to put in one more little thing over here.
mhm,
Our society is a more communal society, and I'm talking about South Asian.
mm.
Community values mean a lot. Okay?
Yeah.
Whereas in Western society, it's so individualistic. People just say, it's my way or the highway. If I want to go
Mm,
in X, goodbye, I'm going. So, really, that means as a community, each one of us, fathers, grandfathers, grandmothers, mothers, have to start
mm,
showing respect. And I am a believer, believe it or not, in showing respect to our children too. When you show respect to your children, they will also show respect to you in return. But if you treat your children like, hey, get out of here, do this, do that, they will start doing it to somebody else. That kindness, justice, love, peace, all of it comes together. Otherwise, for men to start learning that it's not just for me to bring the paycheck home, but to do some lawn mowing, to do washing of the dishes, to help with making my children dress in the morning. All that is also a man's job because it
Mm.
is his child as well as her child. Okay. So I appeal to men, just join in, even if you don't do 50%, even do 20%. That would be a wonderful thing to do.
Just start and be a good role model.
Absolutely. And whatever you do to others, they will give back to you. If
Yeah.
I'm abusive to you, Nandini,
Mm-hmm.
you can abuse me in return because you'll say,
Yeah.
who are you to talk to me like this? Okay.
Or at least I will not respect you. If
Of course not.
yeah.
You will just turn your back on me and walk away.
Yeah, yeah. So I think that's a great suggestion that be a good role model, at least be empathetic to your partners, and it's your child, it's your
As
home. So there is no shame in partnering in everything, right? Uh,
absolutely sharing in everything,
yeah,
helping in everything.
helping in everything, helping each other to grow
Correct.
together.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Correct.
And Menaka, I hope men are listening to this podcast and will be listening. And also parents who are raising young men, they are also listening because we, those who have boys, we have enormous responsibility to teach our children, both men and I mean boys and girls. We need to teach them what is healthy relationship and what is their role to be respectful partner so that their partners feel safe. So thank you. And Menaka, throughout your life, work, and advocacy, you have witnessed various challenges, cultural or systemic, various challenges. So, but still, you are so hopeful, and you are kind of with conviction and passion you are moving toward success, I probably I should say. So what gives you hope, and have you noticed any shift, any progress in your community over the years?
Yes, I have. I have to say that. There is a definite shift.
Mm-hmm.
And there is a shift towards the better. That is towards more partnership, more blending. The only time when I see the shift is not there when there is a sudden shift in a person, male or female, who's come from India and
Mm.
come into a Western society where pace of life is sort of like both have to go to work and make plans. So then they bring their cultural norms from wherever they have come and try to implant it in Western society. I think there is huge change happening because we are watching what? We are watching television, we are watching movies, we are watching Netflix, and we are seeing how men and women are behaving more equally with one another.
Mm.
And that gives me hope that little by little, this seed is coming into our society. Why there is such a lot of domestic violence still persisting? I wonder sometimes, this is only, I'm wondering, I'm not saying is it because there is so much of cost of living pressures? Is there such a, people, how will I fill my grocery basket and bring it home? Will I have my job tomorrow? Those are the anxieties and stresses that keep, you know, rolling around in our heads. Then we have also got some pressures coming from the older society back in India. Oh,
Mm.
so and so bought a apartment for whatever, $500,000. What are you doing? Tell your
Mm.
wife's family to give you $100,000. So sometimes that effect is coming from outside too. How strong are we to say, mother, father, please, we are trying to manage the best we can as a partnership together. So
Mm.
we need to have the guts to say that, the love, and to do it with love and kindness, because we just can't change somebody's head overnight and say, you do it like this or that. So I feel it is happening little by little, but we all are on that journey. And as I said, you asked me earlier, how did I manage to thrive? I feel that I have gone from survival mode to thriving mode, or found the way to thrive. And a lot of that is to build myself up with what can I do for my journey. So as you heard earlier, for me, education was very powerful.
Mm.
Networking was very powerful. Learning, and I continue, I feel learning is a lifelong virtue. I read at least 5, 6 magazines and 5 or 6 newspapers online every day. Okay.
Mm.
I don't sit there just in a little sound bubble thinking I know everything.
Yeah.
Every day I need to learn. So I'd say to you that this, and I believe, and may I say that to you, I believe I have done something well because my daughter, who is now 52, now 53, she is the CEO of a not-for-profit organization for community housing. And I
Very
think
good.
I have done a great job because she carries those values of social justice and fairness and helping others in herself. And I
Mm.
feel that's how you and I can give to our children. Because if we have done that for one child or two children, wait, we have really won the battle, haven't we? Because they're going to do it for their children.
Yes, yes. So, like we said earlier, we discussed earlier, role model, being a good role model is important, and kindness is very important. And
Yeah.
two things actually, what you said, two things came up for me. One is media, role of media. That media these days, I'm seeing both. They are creating unrealistic expectation, harmful expectation in couple relationship. That is really bad. And also sometimes media is portraying healthy kind relationship, partner relationship, that can be model for many couples. So media plays a huge role. So they should be cautious. They should know what they are creating and disseminating, so that they can take part in creating a healthy culture where domestic violence, partner violence will not be tolerated. I've been also working with in this field for a long time, and I'm also seeing that that shift is happening. People are at least addressing toxic relationship. People are talking about it. People are trying to find out how to identify red flags in relationship and how to build healthy relationship. For us, that is progress. For us, that is a shift, positive shift. But on the other hand, I'm also seeing that yes, there are so many things can instigate partner relation violence and abuse. But main thing is power and control. Many people who are poor, maybe they don't have lot of resources, but they have respect in their relationship. They don't want to exert power and control over each other. So they are in a sense they are happy. Their relationship is healthy, right?
That is for sure.
Yeah.
They accept their roles. I'm the breadwinner, or I go out to till the fields, or I do whatever, and she is the mother and homemaker. That is fine. But
Yeah.
let it be a respectful relationship,
Yeah, respect. And if a relationship has respect and safety, most important is
Correct.
safety, respect, and understanding, mutual respect, understanding, safety in a relationship, then it is healthy. I mean, it's not that someone is pressuring me. My dad is calling me from any home country and telling me buy that house, and then I need to create a stress, and under the stress I will abuse my partner. That is not acceptable. So we should be aware of that fact, that it is not acceptable. And we have all of us, each of us, we have enormous responsibility to build a healthy relationship. It's not that we should not be influenced by anything.
Correct. That's absolutely right. So it is all of us owe it to one another to
Yes.
show respect. And I include all multicultural women over here, people from culturally and linguistically diverse communities. If they have no voice, or believe they have no voice or knowledge of how the system works where they're living, then get some support from organizations such as yours, Maitri. And I know
Mm,
in my country too, there are certain organizations which will help you.
mm.
Don't believe you are alone. You are somewhere where there are other women and good men who are willing to help you.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid. So that's what I would like to say to you.
Thank you, Menaka, and thank you so much for educating us, giving us hope. And my last question, and I'm very curious to know, you were awarded the Medal of the Order of Australia for your work. What an incredible recognition! So, what did that honor mean to you personally, and what message do you think it sends to other survivors?
Well, I was, to tell you the truth, shocked when I discovered I had received an Order of Australia because you don't know who has nominated you and you will never know. At least that's what I'm told. King's birthday honors list. And I believe this year I was one of 10 or 11 Indians in Australia who got that honor. Okay. There are other people who did get the honor. So I'm not taking it away. But it's a great encouragement for my efforts,
Mm,
that whatever I've been doing has been on the right track. That's what I think. And I believe that I need to advocate, to help, to do something for other women who are suffering because I have suffered in the past. And if I have found some strength, I don't have the right to keep the strength to myself, but I need to share it with others. What can I do to help you? Can I lift you up? Can I support you? And I mean all women. I'm not sort of saying only South Asian women, but any woman. And part of
mm,
my work these days is with older women who are suffering either abuse or who don't know where to go for some help or for some,
mm,
social
mm.
friendship. So I think that it has brought me on this journey. And I wrote a book many years ago, or not many years, but 6, 7 years ago, called Monsoon Women under a pseudonym.
Mm,
I recall my instances of I have suffered racism, I have suffered, sexism, I have suffered even ageism.
mm,
It doesn't hold me back. It just means I have to work harder to lift up all women who may suffer that sort of indignity.
mm. Yeah. So I believe your story will give hope and courage to so many women. And I actually think that some women, when they are abused, their self-esteem is gone, they are broken, they think that's it. We cannot do anything else. So post-traumatic growth is a thing, and people don't even know that. Many women even know that they can even grow after trauma. So your story will give them that hope that after surviving abuse in a foreign country without any family members, with a small child, you didn't give up hope, right? You did whatever you had to do to stand up, to speak up, and now here you are.
Yep.
So
May
that is a wonderful story.
Thank you. May I share with you my very, very last proverb or saying in life that has motivated me, which my daughter also believes in.
Of
I
course.
used I used to tell her when she was 6 or 7, people in life some are engines and some are carriages.
Hmm.
So some of us are engines, we will chug, 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 and we will pull the carriages along. And there's some people who can't do it, and they are the carriages. So you and I, as to tell my daughter, we have to be the engines in life to push and pull and support and carry people along.
Oh, wonderful.
So that has always been my mantra in life.
Yeah, yeah. So, hearing your stories, someone will have hope and courage to break the cycle of abuse, and someone will get a lesson that we are community and we can help someone in need.
We can be the engine.
We can be the engine. Yes. So
So
thank you. Thank you so much, Menika, for this wonderful discussion, and thank you for your time. I know you are in a different part of the world, but still you took time and came to our show. I'm really thankful for that.
you're welcome. You're most welcome.
So, listeners, thank you for joining us in this powerful conversation with Menaka Iyengar Cooke. Her words remind us that survival is not just about escaping harm, it's about reclaiming your voice, your dignity, and your purpose. Menaka's life story tells us healing is possible, change is possible, but it takes all of us. It takes communities choosing to believe survivors, to challenge silence, and to stand up against violence in all its forms. If this episode moved you, please share it, talk about it, and keep the conversation going. And if you are a survivor listening today, please know that you are not alone. There is hope, there is support, and there is a future beyond violence. If you want to learn about your options and rights, please call Maitri toll free helpline 1 888 862 4874. 1 888 862 4874. Follow Maitri Bay Area social media pages. Visit maitri.org, maitri.org, and keep listening to the Maitri podcast Between Friends. This is your host Nandini Ray signing off today. I will come back soon with another meaningful discussion. Thank you.
This show is for informational purposes only and is not to be construed as legal advice. Always consult an attorney for legal advice. Views expressed by guests of the radio show are individual opinions and not endorsed by Maitri.
Maitri is a free, confidential, non-profit organization based in the San Francisco Bay Area that helps families and individuals facing domestic violence. Don't suffer in silence. Call Maitri Helpline 1 888 8 Maitri, Maitri. Visit our website maitri.org.